Uh, Good morning, students. Welcome to the GST and CA class. Today, we are going to learn about the remission and refund of GST. What do you mean by remission? Under what circumstances GST or tax is remitted? And what do you mean by refund of GST? Under which circumstances the refund of GST is allowed as per the GST Act? And what are the various circumstances in which the refund of GST or tax is allowed? These things we try to learn in this class. So let us start the class.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Tomorrow, sir, tiffin morning.
ఎవరా
Tirupati, sir.
తిరుపతి ఏం కనపడంలే క్లాసులో ఈ మధ్య
సార్ ఈ రోజే సార్ కనిపించింది నిన్న వచ్చా సార్ క్లాస్ నేను
రోజు రండి నాన్న రోజు
వస్తున్నా
రండి
సార్
మన ఫ్రెండ్స్
క్లాస్ వస్తున్నా సార్
మన ఫ్రెండ్స్ కూడా చెప్పండి క్లాసులకు చాలా తక్కువగా ఉంది అటెండెన్స్ పర్సెంటేజ్ గవర్నమెంట్ చూస్తే 90% ఉండాలని చెప్తా ఉంది కొంచెం అట్లా మీకు ఇప్పుడు ఫస్ట్ సెమిస్టర్ వాళ్ళతో పాటే నెక్స్ట్ కాలేజ్ తెలుస్తానే మీకు కూడా ఎగ్జామ్స్ కండక్ట్ చేసేస్తారు ఇంకా నిన్న మీటింగ్లో నిర్ణయం అయిపోయింది మీకు కాలేజ్ తెలుస్తానే మీకు ఎగ్జామ్స్ ఉంటాయి కాబట్టి సిలబస్ కూడా దాదాపు అయిపోతుంది ఇప్పుడు ఫోర్త్ యూనిట్ కంప్లీట్ అవుతుంది ఇంకా ఫిఫ్త్ లాస్ట్ యూనిట్ ఒకటి పెండింగ్ ఉంటుంది ఈ మంత్ ఎండింగ్ లోపల అంతా ఆల్మోస్ట్ సిలబస్ అంతా కంప్లీట్ చేసేస్తాం విల్ కంప్లీట్ ది సిలబస్ బై ది ఎండ్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ మంత్ సో కాబట్టి నెక్స్ట్ కాలేజీ కర్ఫ్యూ ఉండదు కాబట్టి కాలేజీ రీఓపెన్ అయితే కన్నా ఇంకా అయిపోయి ఎగ్జామ్స్ అంటే కంటిన్యూగా ఫస్ట్ సెమిస్టర్తో పాటే మీకు కూడా ఫోర్త్ సెమిస్టర్కు సిక్స్త్ సెమిస్టర్కు కూడా ఎగ్జామ్స్ కండక్ట్ చేస్తున్నాం నిన్ననే మీటింగ్లో డెసిషన్ కూడా తీసుకోవడం జరిగింది కాబట్టి కొంచెం క్లాసులకు అటెండ్ అయ్యి కొంచెం పుస్తకాలు కొనుక్కొని కొంచెం ప్రిపరేషన్ ఎగ్జామ్కు ప్రిపేర్ కండి ఓకే ఓకే సో వాట్ ఈస్ రెమిషన్ ఆఫ్ ట్యాక్స్ what do you mean by remission of tax remission means returning remission means relieving the taxpayer from the obligation to pay tax on goods when they are lost or destroyed due to any natural causes. So remission means relieving the taxpayer, that means the person who is selling the goods or the person who is buying the goods, whoever may be the taxpayer, relieving him from payment of tax. So relieving the taxpayer from the obligation to pay tax on goods. So he is relieved from paying tax on goods when they are lost. That means if the goods are lost, when the goods are lost, then he is relieved from paying tax on those goods. Or destroyed, lost or destroyed due to any natural causes. That's important. Due to natural causes, due to natural calamities, due to natural causes, if anybody lost or if anybody destroy the goods, so whatever the tax to be paid on those lost and destroyed goods, they need not pay. They are relieved of paying of tax on goods destroyed or lost due to natural causes. Okay, so remission is subject to conditions. Remission is not allowed. There are certain conditions laid down in the GST law. So remission is subject to conditions stipulated under the law, and rules made there under. So whatever the conditions, whatever the rules, whatever the law allows, the situations wherein the goods lost or goods destroyed due to natural causes, on those goods the taxpayer is relieved from paying tax. So that's what the remission of tax means. But this remission is not possible in all circumstances. Remission is possible only under certain situations, under natural causes. If you lost goods, or if the goods are destroyed in the natural causes or natural calamities, then only on those goods only the taxpayer is relieved of paying tax. Okay, remission of tax will apply only when tax is payable as per law. So this remission is possible only when tax is payable as per law. That means if you are paying tax as per law, then only this remission is applicable. This remission of tax is possible. If you do not pay the tax, then it is not possible to remit the tax. Okay, so remission of tax will apply only when tax is payable as per law. That is, taxable event should have happened and tax is required to be paid as per law. That means the taxable event in the sense, supply of goods has already happened. But due to certain natural reasons or due to certain natural causes, the goods were destroyed or goods were lost. Therefore, on those goods, whatever the tax payable, that tax payable may be remitted, or may be cancelled by the government if you apply for remission of tax in a proper way. Okay, so taxable event should have happened and tax is required to be paid as per law. Under GST law, levy is applicable upon supply of goods. Okay, so as per GST law, what is the condition for levying of tax or GST? It is supply of goods. Only upon supply of goods the tax will be levied and collected. Where the goods are lost or destroyed before supply, taxable event does not occur in order to pay tax. Suppose if the goods are lost or destroyed before taxable event, that means before supply of goods, then the there may not be any necessity to pay tax on the goods, to pay tax on the goods supplied. So accordingly, question of remission, question of remission of tax does not arise. If the goods are not supplied, then you need not pay the tax. You need not pay the tax. If you supply goods and those goods are lost or destroyed under natural condition or natural due to natural causes, then only the remission of tax is allowed under GST law. Okay, so that is what the remission of law, remission of tax. So remission of tax on supplies found deficient in quantity. So there are two situations under which the remission of tax is allowed under GST Act. There are two situations under which the remission of tax is allowed. What are those situations? Number one, the central or a state government may, by rules made under this subsection, that is section 1, provides for remission of tax on such supplies which are found to be deficient in quantity due to any natural causes. So as per the section 1 of GST Act, the central or state governments, whether it is a central government or state government, may by rules made under this subsection, as per this subsection, they will provide for remission of tax. They allow for remission of tax on such supplies, which are found to be deficient, in quantity, due to any natural causes. That means if due to any natural causes, if any goods supplied, the quantity of those goods is reduced, the quantity of goods is reduced due to natural causes, in that circumstances, central government or state government may provide for remission of tax. So this is a one situation. Next, as per subsection 2 of GST Act, any rules made under subsection 1, may, having regard to the nature of supply, fix the limit or limits of percentage, beyond which no such remission shall be allowed. That means, as per subsection 1, any goods supplied, the quantity of which is reduced due to natural causes, that on that reduction of goods, the tax liability may be remitted. You need not pay tax on reduced quantity of goods as per subsection 1 of GST Act. Next, as per subsection 2, any rules made under subsection 1 may, having regard to the nature of supply, fix the limit or limits of percentage beyond which no such remission shall be allowed. That means, the if there is a reduction in the quantity of goods, there is a maximum limit. There is a maximum limit beyond which, maximum percentage of limit beyond which no such remission shall be allowed. That means there will be always maximum percentage of loss due to natural causes. That means that may be 1% or 2% or 3% or 10%. The maximum limit is there. You cannot claim 100% as uh, a destroyed goods or lost goods. Only a fixed percentage, that is 1% or 2%, based on the nature of the goods. Based on the nature of the goods, the percentage will be fixed by the government. So beyond that limit, you cannot claim remission. You cannot claim the remission. Okay. So these are the two conditions under which your tax liability may be remitted. Tax liability may be remitted. Next, what is refund of GST? What do you mean by refund of GST? Usually, when the GST paid is more than the GST liability, a situation of claiming GST refund arises. Under GST, the process of claiming a refund is standardized to avoid confusion. The process is online and the time limits have also been set for the same. So refund means refunding of the tax. When the refund of tax paid by the a supplier is allowed, when he has paid more than his tax liability. That means his actual payment of tax exceeds his actual tax liability. In that circumstances, he is allowed for claiming refund. And this process is online. So in online itself, they have to apply for refund, and it is standardized. The process has been standardized, and there are time limits. There are time limits set for the refund of the GST. What are the who can claim the refund? Who can when can refund can be claimed? There are certain situations in which the refund can be claimed. The refunds in the GST can be claimed in the following scenarios. There are many cases. There are many cases where refund can be claimed. Here are some of them. Excess payment of tax is made due to mistake or omission. Dealer exports goods or services under claim of rebate or refund. So when the taxpayer or when the taxpayer is paid excess tax than his real tax liability, in that case he can claim for the refund of the tax. Next, ITC accumulation due to output being tax exempt or nil rated. So when the output is nil rated or tax exempted goods, whatever the input to tax paid on those uh, supplies, they can get back or they can claim for refund of that input to tax paid on tax exempt or nil rated goods. Next, refund of tax paid on purchases made by embassies or UN bodies. UN bodies means United Nations bodies. So refund of tax paid on purchases made by embassies or UN bodies. So embassies and UN bodies, when they purchase goods from India, so on those purchases they have to pay IGST, and after paying the IGST they can claim for refund on the tax paid on their purchases. Okay. Next, tax refund for international tourists. So international tourists, as and when the international tourists visit the Indian continent, then they buy different products or different goods in India. So whatever the tax paid by them in India, later they can claim for refund. Later they can claim for refund. Next, finalization of provisional assessment. Now, provisional assessment is one of the assessments made in under GST. So, if the final GST to be paid by the supplier, the final GST to be paid by the supplier is less than the provisional tax paid as per the provisional assessment. In that circumstances also, he is eligible for claiming the refund of GST. He can claim the refund of GST. Next, excess balance in electronic cash ledger. So in the electronic cash ledger, there should be always a minimum balance. So if there is a excess balance in the electronic cash ledger, so that can be refunded, or you can claim for refund of that electronic cash ledger. Next, on account of export of service with payment of tax. So export of services are made by paying tax. Afterwards, they can also claim for the refund of the tax. Next, on account of supplies made to SEZ or SEZ developers, so with the payment of tax. So, if the supplier has paid tax on the supplies made to SEZ or SEZ unit or SEZ developer, then afterwards they can claim for the refund of the tax. Next, export of goods or services without payment of tax, that is ITC accumulated. So, if any supplier has exported goods or services without payment of tax, then they are also eligible for getting refund of ITC, whatever the ITC paid on the accumulated uh, accumulated tax. Next, ITC on accumulated due to inverted tax structure. So class 2, section 54, subsection 3. So as per this section, that is section 54, subsection 3, class 2, ITC, any ITC accumulated due to inverted tax structure, that means there is due to change in the tax structure, if there is any ITC accumulation, that accumulation can be claimed for refund by the suppliers. Next, on account of supplies made to SEZ unit or SEZ developers without payment of tax. So, without payment of tax, if anybody has supplied goods or services to the SEZ unit or SEZ developers, so in that case also they can get back their input tax credit. They can claim for the refund of input tax credit. Next, on account of refund due to deemed exports. So there are certain transactions which are considered as a deemed exports. So in case of deemed exports also, if you have paid any tax to the government, that tax can be claimed for refund. Next, on account of assessment, provisional assessment or appeal. So on account of assessment, if you have paid excess tax than the assessment, automatically you can uh, claim for the refund of the uh, tax. And in the provisional assessment also, if the provisional assessment payment of tax under provisional assessment made is higher than the actual tax, then in that case also you can claim for, or supplier can claim for refund of tax. And appeal, in case of appeal, if anybody has approached the court and the court give uh, judgment in favor of the supplier, then in that case also the he is eligible for refund of the taxes. Next, excess payment of tax. If you have paid any excess tax, then in that case you can get refund. So any other reason, due to any other reason, if you have paid excess tax, excess tax over the liability, if you have paid more tax than what original liability of tax, then you are eligible for claiming the excess tax. Next, what are the circumstances or what are the situations in which you cannot claim the refund of tax? There are certain situations in which you cannot claim the refund of tax. That is, number one, no refund of unutilized ITC is allowed in cases where the goods are exported out of India or subject to export duty. So the no refund of unutilized ITC, input tax credit, cannot be utilized, cannot be claimed as a refund if the ITC is not utilized due to export duty. So export duty cannot be claimed back by the exporters. Next, no refund of ITC is allowed. No refund of ITC is allowed if the supplier of the goods or services or both avails of drawbacks or refund of IGST paid on such supplies. So no refund of ITC is allowed if the supplier of the goods or services or both avails of drawback or refund of IGST paid on such supplies. So if he has refunded or if he has claimed for refund of IGST, then uh, input tax credit may not be refunded. Okay. Next, no refund on closing stocks. No refund on closing stock. Whatever the tax paid on the closing stock, that on that closing stock, no refund is allowed. No refund is allowed on the closing stock. Therefore, these are the various situations under which the no claim can no refund claim can be exercised by the. For example, Mr. B. Mr. B's GST liability for the month of September is 50,000. But due to mistake, Mr. B made a GST payment of rupees 5 lakhs. Now Mr. B has made excess GST payment of rupees 4.5 lakhs, which can be claimed as a refund by him. The time limit for the claiming the refund is 2 years from the date of payment. So, since though his tax liability is 50,000 rupees, by mistake he has paid 5 lakhs rupees. So that means he has paid excess 4.5 lakhs excess GST payment. Therefore, he can claim for the refund. And but the time limit for claiming of refund is 2 years. 2 years from the date of payment. From the date of payment, 2 years, within 2 years he has to claim for refund. What are the time limits for claiming the refunds? What is the time limit for claiming the refunds? So the time limits is 2 years. 2 years from which date? For which different transactions dates has been mentioned. So if there is a delay, if there is a delay by the government, automatically the government will pay 24% per annum interest on the delayed payment. government will pay with interest at the rate of 24% per annum. Okay. So what are the reasons and what are the relevant dates? From relevant date, there will be a 2 years time. Within that 2 years time, you have to claim for refund. So excess payment of GST. When you have paid excess GST, the relevant date is the date of payment. From the date of payment, you will have 2 years time. Within 2 years, you have to claim for refund. Next, export or deemed export of goods or services. Whether exports or deemed exports. In that case, date of dispatch, or loading or passing the frontier. Date of dispatch, that means the date on which we have dispatched the goods, or loading into the ship, or passing the frontier. So the cross border, the date on which the goods have crossed the frontier. Next, ITC accumulates as output is tax exempt or nil rated. In case of accumulation of ITC, when the output is tax exempted or nil rated, in that case, the last date of financial year to which the credit belongs. So the last date of financial year in which the credit ITC credit is belongs. So from that date, 2 years time will be there. Finalization of provisional assessment. In case of finalization of provisional assessment, date on which tax is adjusted, date on which tax is adjusted will be taken into consideration. From that date, we have to claim for refund within 2 years. Okay, so like this, the supplier has to claim for refund of tax from the date of from relevant date to 2 years. Within 2 years, they have to claim for the refund. After 2 years, he cannot claim for refund of the tax. If the government is delayed, if the government delay the refund, then they will pay interest on the delayed payment at the rate of 24% by the government. Next, how can you claim the refund? How can you claim the refund? The refund application has to be made in Form RFD01 within 2 years from the relevant date. So refund application is available in the GST portal. That is Form Refund 01. Form GST Refund 01. So in that particular application, they have to claim their refund of tax through online only. From the date of relevant date. From relevant date, they are eligible to claim within 2 years. Within 2 years from the relevant date. The form should also be certified by the chartered accountant. Whatever the form submitted by the suppliers for claiming refund, that form should be certified by the chartered accountant. This should be certified by the chartered accountant. So, like this, in this way, the tax, can be uh, refunded. You can claim for refund of tax, and remission of tax can be availed by the suppliers, keeping in view various circumstances by following rules, regulations, or by following the conditions laid down in the GST Act. Okay, so this is all about the remission and the refund of tax under GST. Okay, thank you very much for joining the class. And um, if you have posted the number, then you can leave the meeting. Class is completed. Okay, thank you very much.